Good evening everyone and welcome back to another season in TML 4F2 known as Formula 2, and we're here for round number 1, the season opener in Bahrain, and I'm your lead commentator for the season as LRE Storm, but I'm not alone. James has unfortunately departed the comms box up to F1 this season, but I've got a new co-commentator, someone who hasn't, I don't think, commentated on TML before, and that is of course Stumpy. So welcome into a lovely chilled and a bit wet weather this afternoon, evening time in this F2 comms box, and hopefully this season you enjoy it.
Good evening everyone. Yep, first time in this league commentating. I've done elsewhere before, but looking forward to seeing what these guys have got around Bahrain. Nice healthy grid of drivers. Some names I'm not really familiar with, so if you could give me some pointers of who we're looking out for.
So, obviously from last season, a noticeable name that is here. I'm pretty surprised why he's not in F1. Is simply Superman. He won the championship for the constructors with Aston Martin last season. So yeah, that was definitely a spring of surprise, as you wouldn't see normally an Aston Martin, as I just seen a Red Bull spin out of turn 10. But yeah, no, that was a bit of a surprise. He won it with TF Lynx, I believe that was, that's not the T Lynx, I think, as the TF one has gone up to F1. I'm not quite sure. People change names so many times, it's hard to keep up. But yeah, he'll be one to watch. Nick was here last season. Yeah, he famously, funny story about Nick actually, we did China last year, and last 2 laps, final corner, actually it was last lap, final corner, he ran out of fuel, lost the race, win. So yeah, no, if you go watch it back, last lap, me and James were commentating over it, me obviously James Head, and yeah, last lap, final corner, ran out of fuel. So yeah, Mad Jonas, he was in F3 last season. Enzil Cam, a former TML, well, TTML driver, is now known as TML. Few new drivers in here. IRL Dundee has moved up, I believe, so improved on the game. Imadi was here last season. Noisy was here last season. I think he got probably overtake of the season. He absolute sent one down. It was in Kota, and you know the corner before that sweeping left-hander. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. Well, I think the corner. You know when the corner when you can go really deep and like dive bomb somebody. Yeah. Well, he did that, and yeah, me and James couldn't believe it. So he's definitely one to watch. But I don't think there's anyone else that I know. Obviously, I think the names are going to be really difficult, especially Nicholas. I'm not German, you're not German, so that's going to be a very interesting way to pronounce it. I think we're just going to have to call him Nicholas. And FNR, is that Hookaboo, or I'm not even going to try. Yeah, so it is the FNR driver who is leading on the pole time. As I say that, IRL Dundee, former F3 driver, has put it on pole at the moment. Funny enough, he's in the Mercedes for this evening, well, this season, should I say, with a 28.0.
Yeah, and just looking at them times, these are quite rapid laps for their bankers, and just how busy the track is quite early on.
Yeah. Oh, Steph has retired, so that's an early quali exit for the Alfa Romeo driver. I think TNR, they are Norwegian. I know FNR are Norwegian, but I'm not sure what TNR is. Somebody will probably quote me in the stream chat. So, but yeah, no, these drivers that I suspect will be quick on the bankers. But yeah, a lot of drivers out on their out laps. it's very tricky, I think, on the outlaps, obviously, to keep out of people's way on certain tracks, especially like obviously Saudi Arabia, quite notorious one. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of space here in Bahrain, I think, for drivers just to move out of the way.
Yeah, it's one of those the Tilken tracks, isn't it? Where it's just so wide, isn't it? I mean, you get to tracks like Imola, and it's so narrow with the cars being so wide. It's difficult to know sometimes when cars are coming, but that's part of the game, isn't it? You just got to be aware of what's in front and what's behind.
Yeah, as I've just been informed by the chat, I was correct. TML are also Norwegian, so we've got a lot of Norwegian drivers in this division, and yeah, I have to say, well, it's well, I don't really know what to say. Lost me words. But yeah, all the times at the moment are literally within a tenth. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Fastest lap if we just split the lead. Yeah, I mean the top 3 are within a tenth, and then half a second covers the top 9. So
yeah,
it is pretty ridiculous, and simply Superman wasting no time in getting back out there for another run.
Yeah, I obviously I know you're a league racer yourself as well as I am. For this track, I find the entry and exit out of turn 10. That's the sharp hairpin, I believe, or the sharp left-hander. I always find that it tricky to nail on a good entry and a good exit. So that may where it could be a point where a driver can get a pole position or be ending up P4, P5, or even further down. So Mad Jonas in the pits, so we'll go on board with somebody else, and we'll go on with, I believe, that Raquel Links. So that's going to get confusing this season with 2 links in the chat. Well, in the races.
Yeah, all these names, like you say, some of them are hard to even pronounce, let alone when they're quite similar.
Yeah. Why can't they all be easy names?
Yeah, all British like Brian and
yeah. Oh, trust me. This is no. I know there's a Welsh, a former Welsh commentator of Ivor Bryn Mike, in TML, and he races, I think, in TML. But I tell you what, I hate. Well, I don't hate him. That's not what I was gonna say. I would hate to be anybody to be called Bryn. Because it just doesn't. I don't know if you've watched him before. I've watched obviously Gavin Stacey before, and that name just gets so stuck in your head. And I you know, for him thinking at me last night for the Ferrari strategies in EML, that one's for him. So yeah, he was because obviously EML was on last night at Bahrain, and one of the Ferrari drivers did a very weird strategy, did 20 laps on the mediums, and then conceded positions, yeah, so obviously he didn't come until lap 22 for a set of softs. So, and yeah, it just didn't go well.
Yeah, well, that's one of the great things about this race is the strategy. It's so important with the tyre deck, and obviously if there's a safety car that brings 2 stoppers into it, and it's a mishmash of everyone having different strategies.
Yeah, of course. So last night, if you did watch EML, or you have managed to see it, obviously EML is the esports event that is hosted on League Racing TV every Wednesday 8 PM, which we have Premier 1 and Premier 2 no assists, which is obviously commentated by James. He does Premier 1, and then myself and Leslie the Twig does normally Premier 2, but I was in the privilege of one RLS Conti. And just a quick mention to Conti, congratulations to him and his partner on their wedding day today. I didn't know until late last night after the commentary, so congratulations from everybody at TML on his wedding day, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything went all okay, as we know what weddings can be like, so hopefully his Dutch wedding went all No hitches at all, and hopefully we'll see him back racing and in the comms booth very shortly. As we've got 7 minutes and a half just gone on the clock, and anyone really, you know, catching your eye at the moment?
Oh, well, I'm watching a few people doing their second runs, and they're struggling to match their first. And I'm just watching Dundee now, and he is up on his time in the second sector, but it's marginal, very marginal indeed. So
it is.
Those banker laps were really, really something.
Yeah, of course. So maybe you know, they know something that we don't know. It obviously, yourself racing as well. As we say that, Dundee goes and beats his time, not much, but it is a 27.9 and the first driver in the 27. So as I was just saying before, when you set a banker lap and it is as good as these drivers, does it come into the back of your mind thinking, well, is it worth risking another tyre? Or do you think, well, should I leave it? Like, what's your kind of strategy behind after the banker lap if you can't beat it?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, usually, personally, I leave it late to set my banker because track evolution on this game, I think it's quite a thing. So I just think it's a waste of time setting a lap early doors.
Yeah.
So I usually, go out around the 12-minute mark and then set the lap, and then if I know there's time there, I'll go again. But if it's marginal, sometimes I don't bother.
Yeah, of course, and I find with obviously not Bahrain as such, but we'll see further down the season where some drivers will have to rely on their banker because of the weather, especially like places like Imola, Silverstone, where we might see the rain being more effective, obviously in qualifying. I remember quite recently I did a commentary, within 10 minutes the rain pretty much ended everybody's kind of dry qualifying, so you've got to be prepared for everything. But hopefully tonight, I can't see there being any rain in the desert.
No, absolutely. I don't think it ever has in a Formula 1 weekend in real life, has it? So
no.
We're safe from that one. But another thing to point out is invalidations, sometimes you've got to get them extra runs in because it's just so difficult to be on the limit and keep it within track limits.
Yeah. Oh, as you say that, one of the AlphaTauris got a little bit squirrely out of, I believe that's turn 11. Now, out of turn 11, you've got to get a good exit there, I find, because if you hit the curb on the right, you can spin. Quite noticeably on the last year's game, that was quite noticeable, as one of the AlphaTauris is into the pit, so we'll run on board with somebody else. We'll go on board with the Dutchman, which is Nick Houston, as he comes through turn 10 and 11, as I was mentioning before. So just I think it's the corner just before the end of the middle sector, which is out of turn 11 and 12, I believe it is, as Nick is actually going through that right now. If you go too close to that right side, you can spin, and Nick is actually 2/10 up. So this could be a possible P3.
He's looking good. Good handful of lap time to be had here, and Simply Superman did go faster by a couple of tenths over Dundee, and he's gone second. So that's the Red Bulls.
No, one Red Bull,
Williams,
one
and the Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, it does get confusing.
But it's very tight at the top.
It is very tight at the top. The top three on the lap times of a 27. I think the top three may probably not need to go back up. Maybe Dundee might need to go, as I believe Simply Superman has set a faster lap of a 27.7, and I haven't caught when he did that, but he is simply in P1, no pun intended. We'll go on board as Nick has... Oh, DET Lynx has retired. We'll go on board with... Oh, no, they're all in. Nick's the only one out at the minute. So, I think drivers are getting ready for their final laps.
Yeah, I was just looking at I am D and or I am AD. He just set the fastest second sector, but he's decided to abort the lap. So time's getting on in the session. Thinks he can do better again.
Yeah, of course. And the most recent race here, obviously, we saw Charles Leclerc win it under the new generation of cars, where we saw a horror show of a day for Max Verstappen fans and Red Bull fans in general, where we Perez spin in turn 1 and we saw Max have power issues. But we also seen 2021, we saw the infamous turn 4. Some people might say that he gave enough room, some might not. You know, I'm not a steward. I do commentary, so I'll leave that one up to Honey Badger. I think funny that we've got a Red Bull and a Mercedes going through turn 4 on an outlap. So yeah, that's I think an interesting one to offer. Alexa, stop. I'll turn that off. Blooming thing. Yeah, I think obviously, like I said, turn 4, turn 10, very crucial parts where you can overtake. The exit of turn 2 and 3, if you don't get it right, you are going to be in a point where, if you've got a car behind you, you are going to be at a point where the DRS will just be overpowering. Obviously, turn 1, no formation up, I believe, this evening. Because obviously Codemasters can't fix anything properly. So turn 1, that's going to be, obviously, as we've both league raced before, turn 1 at Bahrain, it never goes well.
Oh, at the start, no. I mean, you can sometimes get 4 people getting to the same piece of tarmac, and so yeah, underway with the final runs. Nick Houston, he has retired, so he's decided he's not going again.
Yep, as I ride on board with IRL Dundee, and I wouldn't be hazarded to guess he's Scottish. No, I'm obviously with the name Dundee, and he is making his way through. He's through sector 2. I find the middle sector of Bahrain quite a long sector, as obviously the sector 1 and sector 3 aren't relatively large sectors, so as he comes through turn 10, gets a good entry and a good exit, so he's going to power down with the DRS, and he's going to make his way through into turn 11 and 12. He is going to come up to the middle sector end of that, and we'll check if he is up. If he is, then he might be on pole. He is up by 2/10. This could be a lap. This could be... and he's invalidated. Oh, that is going to be heart-wrenching. He knows he's got the pace for a pole time, but it's not going to happen. We'll go on board with Nicholas. Is Nicholas... Oh, and that's going to be even more painful. Nicholas has jumped IRL Dundee up into P3. Where is Craig going to go? Is Craig going to hurt more damage? He doesn't. And he's going to be in P5. Where is Enzio Cam going to go? He's not going to go... he's slowed down, so Ray is coming through. So Dundee and above can't sit back and relax just at the moment, as Ray is going to cross the line, and he is going to roar. He's going to go up to P5, and it is to Joan. I'm really good. I had this name nailed down last season, and now I can't pronounce it. But that is qualifying over with Simply Superman putting in a simply beautiful lap and puts it into P1. I tell you what, he could be a potential championship contender, because he did the constructors last season. Can he do the drivers?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, look how close it is. You can't half of these guys out already. Quarter of a second covers the top 6. That's insane.
It's mad that the game's only been out for 3-4 months, and the drivers are already at that pace level where, you know, you think to yourself, I'm never going to catch that. But yeah, I will just turn my game down a little bit, as Simply Superman gets pole position by 51 thousandths of a second. Nick Houston, the Dutchman, in P2 with a 27.8. Then we've got Nicholas in P3, IRL Dundee in P4. Then we've got the trio of the Norwegians of FNR, Ray, NFR, Cray, and NFR Huckaboo. I apologise if I said that wrong. Then we've got Mad Jonas, Enzil Cam, and then rounding off the top 10 is DET Lynx. Outside the top 10 is Raquel Lynx. I'm a D, Noisy to Jonas, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and then URL Chris. So, obviously the qualifying rule has changed. You can start on whatever tyre you want to start on. So, I've got a funny feeling we're going to see a lot more hard runners than we are going to see medium runners.
Yeah, it's always better to be on the faster tyre at the end of the race, but you know, safety cars around here, it's such a vital part, so you've got to think on your feet. And at least Codemasters have fixed the glitch where you started on cold tyres if you turn the formation lap off. So
yeah.
At least that's sorted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they've fixed that, but they haven't actually fixed the formation lap, I think. Which is, you know, not great. But we are going to get ready soon. But while we are here, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, as there's more racing to come. Tomorrow where we see Formula, I believe it's Formula 3 and Formula 4, which will be commentated here on League Racing TV. EML will be also on every Wednesday with myself and James and Leslie the Twig commentating, so you get a bit of esports action and you get a bit of normal league racing. There's also some other stuff on here as well. I believe there's GT Sport as well, or TTG coming. We'll be able to tell me that. But there's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights for Season 8 in TTML, F4, and I have no sound. Thank you, Codemasters. As we get on our way into Turn 1, who is going to make the move? And it is going to be Simply Superman keeps P1, as I believe that's all a relatively clean T1, as clean as it can be. They're all making their way through turns 2 and turn 3. Everybody is on the mediums or the hards except from DET Lynx. He's gone for the soft. I think that's a bold move there, as we've got a bit of an action with I'm a D and URL Chris having a battle through the end of the first sector, and it's all action packed here in the first lap, as only a few have gone on the medium runners, well, the medium tyres should I say. That's Gray, I'm a D, Mad Jonas and IRL Dundee. As I'm a D goes really wide, it's gonna have to return safely, and yeah, that's a lucky mistake there, I think, as he is going to have to fight now from TNR Steph, who is right behind, and he is going to be feeling the pressure from the hard runners behind, as their tyres will come into their own element in a few laps time, but the medium tyres will be the better tyre for around about probably the first 4 or 5 laps. As we've got a bit of a battle at the back with NFR. Right, that's a little cheeky move for Prey, I believe, in the Red Bull, as Simply Superman comes across the finish line for the end of lap 1.
At the start of the race, we had one of the Williams who did start on the soft, as DET Lynx. Picked up some wing damage as well, so not only is he not on the optimal strategy, he's now a long way behind, having to change his wing.
Yeah, not a good day. Sector 1, yellow flags, that's Noisy. I don't know what's happened there.
Maybe he's just dropped it under traction on these tyres won't be fully warmed up yet. That hard compound tyre does take a couple of laps to get up to temperature. Yeah, it does, as medium runners also not really making any moves at the moment. I will just double check. IRL Dundee not really making. As there's an Alfa Romeo off.
and that is Steph.
I'm wondering if he's just touched the curb or is in contact
Possibly,
with
yeah.
car, but it's 2 drivers round.
As they all come to the end of lap 2, should I say. DRS is now going to be crucial because it has been enabled. I wonder if Nicholas is going to make any form of an attempt on Simply Superman, or is he just too quick, the Irishman? As he is going to close the gap, and he is, yeah. I thought a battle I thought I'd never see. The Haas versus the Williams for P1. That's something you don't see in normal league racing, unless it's on F1 Manager that came out today. I know there's a few people in the chat probably itching, and probably the drivers as well, itching to get back to F1 Manager. But you know, you sign up for something, you've got to be committed, and you know, as much as I wanted to play it and carry on, I knew that commentary was as much as important as they make their way down through turns 10 and 11. And yeah, not really many movers happened at the moment, as Lynx is back in the pits, and I just wonder if he's struggling a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who makes the first move.
Yeah, I was going to say, at the beginning of the previous lap, it did look like Simply Superman used a lot more of his ERS. This time around, it's Nicholas who's used a lot more to get within striking distance, and he's got the DRS. He doesn't really want to go for a move here, more get... Oh, Superman backed off to get the DRS for a move back down into turn 4, much like we saw in real life with Max and Charles.
Yeah, he has, and he's now going to have to defend, I think. Oh, this is going to be interesting. A Mercedes versus a Red Bull in turn 4. I think we've seen this before. But that one's not gone off track, as Crane moves his way up into P10. Red Bull really coming strong this evening. One, they've split the strategy, and yeah, it's obviously working a little bit more in their favour, as Nick is going to be kind of in a DRS train now behind the Williams, as Nicholas is going to kind of try and create that gap and go off into the distance.
He's going to try and push, break that 1 second gap, so he's not susceptible to Superman. But it's not going to... I don't think he's going to do it this lap. But the guys up front having to use a lot more of their ERS, obviously, because they don't have the ERS. And the guys in like 4th and 5th place, they've got like 50% ERS, because they're just able to save in the DRS train.
Yeah, of course, and oh, setting 3 yellow flags. That's going to be for Lynx. He's not even going to try to recover, as he is lapped now, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do get any safety cars late this race. Hopefully I haven't commentators cursed, because I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. And yeah, it's still all close at the moment.
It's just that lull, isn't it, that we see in real life. Everyone's settling into the groove, trying to protect their tyres, protect their ERS levels, and settle in, see how the race goes before making an attack further down the line.
Yeah, of course, and when it's in this situation where the drivers are so close, it's kind of like there's going to be really no overtaking, because nobody wants to go, and make that move. But it'll be interesting to see how IRL Dundee plays this, because he is on the faster tyre, which would normally give you the better grip early on. But Ahmadi has had a moment on the exit of the middle sector, or the end of it, should I say. And yeah, he's kind of dropped down to P12. He will still get points, as everyone gets points as long as they do finish. So yeah, it's always quite rewarding just to finish if you have had a bit of a bad race, because you will get points still, as Noisy has gone and overtaken. Oh no, that's because Imadi is in the bits, but that top 6 have not really changed at the moment.
No, they haven't, and you know, some of them, like I said before, still sitting on high battery, so you're starting to think if anyone's going to be making moves, because like you say, Dundee is on the faster tyre. He should really be trying to make some ground, because later on in the race he's going to be on that slower compounded tyre and doesn't want to lose too much touch to those guys.
Yeah, of course, and it's kind of a situation where, well, if you make one move, it can either end in a mistake or it can end in something absolutely fantastic, and I think that's why none of the drivers are really battling. And you can see, but just behind Enzil Cam, the sheer gap that everyone has behind him as well. So these drivers know what they're doing. They're in this tier for a reason, not just for their pace, but yeah, they know what they're doing, and it'll be kind of who blinks first.
Houston looking close there in the Red Bull, but just has a little bit of the luck. Tell you what, Nicholas in the lead, he's impressing me here. He's not really using too much of his ERS. He's still got 40%, and he doesn't have any DRS, and Simply Superman he's quite low on ERS, just trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, of course, and I think that's the other contributing factor is getting, well, first you've got to, you know, close up the gap, but the second thing is you've got to close it up to then, you know, kind of get that position, and at the moment nobody really can close up a gap. Oh, as Dundee has gone very wide, and yeah, clips the wing of the driver behind in the AlphaTauri. So just wonder if he's got his tyres a little bit too hot, and yeah, he is on the mediums. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how that's going to pan out.
Yeah, he's momentarily fell outside the DRS, but of course medium compound tyre is going to able to just stream back up into it. They've got some performance left in them. I think they can go for about 14 laps at a good pace, so right, but yeah, but you need to start thinking about how to get past these guys. And that'll lock up into turn 1, looking very close to that Haas. The car control of some of these guys is really impressive.
Of course, yeah. I must admit the cars are a little bit more easier, you know, to kind of control if you do make a mistake. And yeah, I just, you know, it's one of them things where we're kind of in that phase where the hards haven't come really into their kind of element, I find, where, you know, they're at the right temperature, they've kind of got the right grip level that, you know, that you would expect them to have. But yeah, it's a tricky one at the moment, because IRL Dundee has the pace, but I think he made the mistake and should have gone on for the hard compound tyre than the mediums, unless he's going for track position, which he can't get at the moment because Nick is just a little bit too quicker than I think what IRL Dundee can do at the moment.
Yeah, but if this race carries on the way it is, quite fancying third place man Nick Houston. He's got, what, 60% ERS, and the thing with this game that I've noticed is it's the overcut that's more powerful rather than the undercut, because you've got that outlap on cold tyres and the performance just isn't there.
Yeah, of course, and as we make it way through turn 2 and 3, lap number 9, I just wonder, is their medium runners feeling, you know, kind of on the edge of their seat? as obviously the tyres aren't probably going to last as long. I think I remember last night in EML the mediums came in about lap 12, lap 13. So yeah, it's kind of a sense of the mediums probably feel like they're a soft tyre, just a different colour really. Obviously the softs don't last that long here, but yeah, I've got a feeling that obviously they will be dying off soon, as IRL Dundee is just trying to create that gap, which is obviously not going to happen at the moment.
No, but that's it. Matt Jonas now, he's onto the back of the top 6 after momentarily falling away. So it's Ferrari man and Lynx is the first man to drop outside of any DRS. He's got Cray behind him in the DRS zone on the medium
As I
tyre.
say that,
got
a battle for the lead. 3 cars going into 1 doesn't work. As Simply Superman keeps P1, but the 2 drivers behind him, I think, are getting a little bit impatient now, and are going to ramp up the pressure and kind of, yeah, go for it, I think.
Yeah, well, they've got the hammer time message, and sort of Nick on the exit of 2 there got a little bit sideways, which would have compromised him all the way down the straight to 2 and 4, but still in P3. And Superman, if he can stretch the gap now to Nicholas.
Yeah, hopefully he can, because I think it would be making it more exciting. I think if people could start to make maybe their own gaps, but yeah, everyone down to P7 now is within a 1 second window, so it's kind of making it a very large DRS train, as you can see as they come to the final corner of the final sector. I think we kind of just need that somebody to make a move and break the DRS train, as I believe Nick is going to be either overtaken or is going to get close enough to Nicholas, as they all make their way through turn 1, 2 and 3, where we saw the infamous Nikita Mazepin in his only one season of Formula 1, and yeah, it was down in turn 1 and have a spin. Hopefully none of the drivers do that this evening, as it would be a shame. They would lose points on the opening day, and yeah, I think that's the kind of thing people are doing at the moment. They are being a lot more cautious here this evening, as points are on the table, and you always want to have a good first race.
Yeah, and Nick Houston in turn 10 getting a bit of a horrible exit and entry. We have a yellow who's on.
That'd be an Alpine, yeah.
Maybe having a bit of a moment there. Nothing to warrant any virtual or full safety cars. Yeah, P5, he's looking racy as well, getting on the back of Dundee. He's fancying a move on this next lap. Sick of the sight of the Mercedes.
I think a lot of people are. But yeah, as yeah, Enzil Cam kind of backing off a little bit there, maybe trying to ERS save. In this kind of situation, it is a little bit difficult to to kind of, you know, build up that ERS, and I think that's why Enzil Cam is backing off a little bit, just to save that ERS. Have a look. No, he is literally out of ERS, so that's not going to be the same situation. It's that kind of situation of who blinks first, and none of them want to blink and give us an answer of who is going to kind of make the move, as they all make their way through turn 9. No, turn 8, I believe. Turn 8 and then turn 9. I just wonder, is anyone going to make a bold dive bomb into turn 10. They haven't this lap, but yeah, I wonder if the medium runners may come in lap 13, maybe 14, and go for obviously the hard compound side, because IRL Dundee, Mad Jonas and Crate, the mediums have not worked. They haven't made really any positions, and yeah, I think they are coming to the end of their life.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's not working for them at the moment. They're just sort of in this train, so maybe it's time to start thinking of a pit stop and see where they can come out, see if they can get some free air to just push. Of course, they won't have the DRS, but it's not so much of a problem, as that is Nicholas getting back into the lead. Simply Superman, but Simply Superman, I've noticed on the past couple of laps that an excellent run, but he's picked up a penalty. That could be crucial later in the Grand Prix.
It could, and as I said before, it only takes one driver to make a mistake, as Simply Superman is getting rather close again to the Haas, and yeah, it's getting very interesting.
I think you're right what you were saying about Dundee's tyres. He's not as racy as he was before, and he's looking more in his mirrors than the track ahead of him to keep NFR Haikaru behind.
Don't worry, we've got a whole season.
Sorry for butchering that.
Don't worry, we've got a whole season of this, so you've got time. Yeah. So, but yeah, it is the Haas leading the way again, as he is going to be trying to pull a gap now. He's got 6/10 on the car behind. He probably has seen, but he has the 3-second penalty. And I just noticed Nicholas is really gaining that gap now, as Mad Jonas, the first of the mediums to pit, and yeah, that's I think a tactical strap there to go for an early move, maybe go for the undercut here, and try and get some early positions back before the medium, the hard runners do make a pit stop.
It won't be long before we see Dundee in. The question is, for these hard runners, are they going to go long and go to the softs, do you think, or is it going to be a straight up hard medium?
I think it will be medium or hard for either driver.
Noisy's had a moment there, and he's round, bringing out the yellows once again. But he's managed to recover it as the second victim of the penalty is URL Chris from Mercedes, running wide at turn 10.
Yeah, he is, and yeah, the penalties are starting to come in now, so I think drivers will be just a little bit more careful on where they do track extend, as Cray is in, so I wonder, I think Dundee doesn't want to lose too many positions, so he's thinking about the gap. As oh, go on.
If he pitted now, I think he'd come out in some nice clean air. I think he should think about pitting.
Oh, as there's a sector 3, and that would be I'm a D. So that'll be an interesting one. As we get back on the racing. All green flags, and yeah, we'll just keep an eye on IRL Dundee. He is an F3 driver, was last season. Got a bit frustrated a few races that he knew he could have won, but got hit by a penalty or something. So this is a step up for him. He's 4/10 slower than his PB, which is obviously his personal best. So yeah, it's interesting to see that he's not pitted, and hopefully he's not going to do a Ferrari strategy. Oh, gets a little bit. No, he has boxed. I think he knew that the tyres have gone. The hard runners have come in as well. So I think he's come in at the right time, as I think he's following Nick. Yeah, it's a pit stop for Nick, Cam, Chris, Simply Superman, and I think there's one more. Yeah, Raquel Link. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting one now how people play this, because there's no DRS train, as IRL Dundee is going to have to battle with Enzil Cam very quickly as they make their way through turn 3 and up into turn 4. And yeah, that pit stop has cost IRL Dundee not 3 but 4 places, as Enzil Cam gets that Aston Martin up into P7.
Yeah, I think IRL Dundee was reacting to the guys in front of him. It seemed a very late call across the pit exit, but the pit entry. Sorry, but Nicholas, he's setting PBs, so I think this will be his in lap, and the gap is 23.7 seconds to Simply Superman.
Yeah, we'll keep on board with him. Is he gonna pit, or is he gonna stay in? He is gonna box. He's got Gunter on the call there, saying you know, box, and he has made the pit. The only problem with Nicholas, his pit lane is all the way down the end. So yeah, he's got to add a couple of more seconds, I think, on his as he makes that pit stop. And where is that going to bring him out? He is going to drop the lead, and that is a 20. The pit stop is still going. I don't know what. It must have been about 23-second pit stop, and he's come right out in front of Simply Superman, as I believe somebody has gone for a spin.
Not sure about, but there's Tijuana.
As I say that, yeah, they're going
in between the two race leaders, and well, Simply Superman will want to clear this, and he's gone for the move. Be careful, you don't want to pick up any damage, and he's spun! He's spun the car, and he's lost positions through out of pure impatience trying to get past. He didn't need to get the move done there, but he's cost himself valuable positions.
Yeah, he has, and probably positions he didn't want to lose, because he won't be making a pit stop again, and he has to clear a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, it might be a simply disaster for Simply Superman. I must admit, he must get really annoyed with all the puns that people give him, because we gave it to him last season, the Irishman, and yeah, he's gonna have to make a few positions. He's got the pace, so that's not the problem, but yeah, he will be probably not happy with the defending from the McLaren, as he is going to probably not get past Enzil Cam on this occasion, but he is going to keep up with the rest. But Cray is going to have to battle with Mad Jonas out of turn 3 on their way to turn 4.
Yes, this is a critical part of the race for Nicholas, because we've got Tijuana in second. Well, he was in second. Nick Houston has got past him, but critically he's outside of the DRS to Nicholas now, so he's going to have to work hard over these next couple of laps to reel him back in.
Yeah, of course, and I think with Nick, his tyres are an extra lap warmed up, so he'll be race ready to go, whereas I think Nicholas's tyres kind of I would say, you know, they are, you know, coming into where they would be at a good temperature and probably rub it in to the track. But yeah, Nick can't really catch it at the moment. He's gone up to 1.6 as we come to the final 10 laps. It doesn't feel like it's only been 19 laps. It feels like we're really more close than that as McLaren does pit in. I wonder if that's going to be for a set of softs.
I think it's worth gambling, but no, it's a medium tyre.
It is a medium tyre. And I think Mad Jonas is looking for... Oh, that's a spin and a half. As Mad Jonas spins, I believe, NFR Cray. Unlucky there for Cray. He was doing a fantastic run there, and will have to kind of go again as Steph is in front on 18 lap hards, and I think Steph will be making a pit stop very shortly.
Yeah, so as it's played out, Dundee now on those hard tyres. He's the first hard runner. He's 1.7 behind Simply Superman. He's got a lot. He's got hardly any ERS either, so I can't see him marching onto the back of the top 5.
No, and I don't think anyone is really going to break that top 5, except from Simply Superman, because at the moment he is 6-7 tenths behind, but he's got to take into account this penalty, which would drop him behind IRL Dundee. So yeah, it's a battle of the Scotsman and the Irishman. So that's a battle I think I don't want to be a part of. Yeah, the Irish versus the Scots, that could be a very fierce and feisty little battle between IRL Dundee and Simply Superman.
We don't want a Celtic war again.
No, we don't.
But interestingly, what you're saying about the top 5, they're all falling out of DRS from each other, apart from Simply Superman. So he is on a charge to get back up. As you say, he's got that 3-second penalty, which is going to come into effect at the end. But that's not to say that some of these guys around him won't pick up one at the end either.
Yeah, of course. Oh, Sector 2. That's the yellow flag. That's not Mad Jonas. It is Mad Jonas. He has had a moment at turn 8. And that won't be helping his tyres at all. And yeah, it's not gone great for him in that perspective. But if you look at the track map, the top 5, look how close they are. Literally, you couldn't part them. So yeah, it's a very interesting kind of situation we have, because Simply Superman has the pace, but yeah, kind of got a little bit impatient and cost not himself, but also the Williams team crucial points in that championship.
Yeah, and second place man Nick Houston, he's re-engaged because he's taken about half a second out of the race leader, so maybe just needed a few extra laps to get more comfortable into a rhythm on these tyres, because well, I'm sure as you know, when you're pacing yourself on a certain set, it's fine, and then you come in, change to a different compound, it's a different feeling within the car, and you've got to adapt.
Yeah, of course. I find obviously different tyre compounds, you're gonna feel different. On the softs, when you're doing your qualifying lap, you feel, as they say, you feel like kind of racy. It's like, I want to go. I want to, put that fast lap in. And then on the mediums, you have to kind of, weigh up your options. Kind of, push for a few laps, back off, save a little bit of the tyre, then push again. And obviously, when the hards are used, I think with them you kind of have to, give them a few laps, let them warm up, get in the right area of temperature, and then just literally just go for it. As we come on to lap number, I believe, 22, or is it 23? No, it is lap 22 of 29. Not many laps left here in Bahrain, and it is Nicholas who leads the way with Nick Houston in P2, and then NFR or FNR Hookaboo in P3, Simply Superman in P5, and I believe Steph is now in the pits, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do a soft run and go for the fastest lap.
Simply Superman getting past and ZL Cam down the main straight. Fairly simple overtake, and he's got a 1.8 second gap to the next man who's in third position. But with that penalty that he has, he's already cleared Dundee, obviously Dundee on those harder compound tyres, so not able to match the pace, but it's quite spread out further down.
Yeah, of course, and yeah, I think you know, looking at this, Simply Superman will be, you know, looking back at this race, maybe watch his own race back, and yeah, he'll be looking at, you know, maybe where he made mistakes, where he can, you know, kind of make them improvements, make them adjustments, and yeah, he'll be maybe not as happy as he would have been when he was in P1, P2. As I say that, Cam is going to be side by side. Cam goes for the absolute send, and yeah, I just wonder if Simply Superman is doing that to get DRS.
Yeah, it looked like a big lift was riding on board with Simply Superman, and it did seem to come off the accelerator to get the DRS, but that tactic hasn't worked, and we have yellows. That's Steph. Are we going to get a safety car? Is that a full course safety car or VSC?
The safety car, there's a yellow dot on.
Yeah, the safety car's out.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be out for long. Yeah.
More importantly, are we going to get some pit stops?
I'd be very surprised if somebody does try a bold, because you're halving the time that you're in the pits. So
yeah, I mean, look at the leaders. I mean, if they come in, they should be able to come out in P8. They'd be on fresh softs, be able to carve their way through the traffic. Let's see if anyone decides to do it.
It's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be that moment where the drivers will make the money. Yeah, they're gonna go in. Nicholas is in. So Nicholas just hope to God that this safety car stays up long enough.
Oh, coming in. Well, all the top 5 are in. Oh, and Dundee with a cheeky little move in the pit lane there, which is really legal. So Cray, he has stayed out on the hard tyre.
Yeah, so the safety car is out, and yeah, that just, I think, gives everyone a reset button. A few drivers, well, one, which is NFR Cray, opted to stay on the hards. That's I'm not going to say the word I'm thinking, but yeah, that's kind of a weird scenario to go with.
Yeah, it's not one I would have missed.
Unless he's missed the pits because of his teammate, and then he's going to be right at the back of the grid.
He's going to be like he may as well pit now. Yes, you'll fall right to the back, but you're going to go backwards anyway. Everyone's on the soft tyre behind him.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a sitting duck, so he may as well get some fresh softs on and go from the back and try and work his way up.
Yeah, of course, and I think that would be the better option for him, as yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that safety car comes in the next lap. But a little bit of an interesting fact about the safety car, as you can see on the safety car, the Mercedes safety car, should I say, The yellow lights are flashing. That means that there is a safety car and there is no overtaking, and you have to keep within 10 car lengths. The red lights on the safety car means that it is a red flag, and all cars on the track must return safely to the pit lane. And the green light that you probably mistakenly should have seen in Abu Dhabi last season is for cars that are lapped may be allowed to overtake the safety car. Now that light is not shown in the F1 game, which I find very frustrating. That, you know, especially in the league race, you can't unlap yourself. Yeah, that's very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that are frustrating with the game, bar the obvious, where it's just glitch city, but nice little things like that, I think the online community would appreciate.
Especially if you're having a bad race and you know and you want to unlap yourself. You know, they do it in real life, so why can't they do it here? You know, so, but we'll never know. This is Codemasters, so we just buy the game every year. But yeah, I think either this lap or the next one, we are going to get back under racing.
Yeah, of course, be careful what you wish for, because if they do implement that, it's just going to be glitch central again.
Yeah.
So many people get penalties for overtaking or something under the safety car, but...
Yeah, well, I've seen the crossplay audio, and it sounds very croaky and, yeah, like a horse, pretty much. You can't hear the game, the car, or anything. So, yeah, I think there'll be no crossplay leagues for a little while.
Yeah, safety car's in this lap. I thought it might be with the field all bunched up.
It is, and this kind of gives Superman either two options. Either he makes up positions and creates that gap, or he is going to be suffering very badly with that penalty. As it seems like we've got some F1 car synchronization here, as they make their way down to the final corner, and we literally have F1 sync, as it looks like Nicholas has bolted out the final corner, and we are going to get underway here for TML, should I say, Formula 2 for lap number 26 of 29. 3 laps to go here in TML F2, and they make their way down into turn 1. A little bit more less action-packed than the lap 1, and Nicholas is already foot down and head down as he makes his way up into turn 4, and Cray is holding there, but I can't see him holding on for much longer, as I think he's trying to anticipate Super Superman with his penalty.
And we've seen a nice battle here for the final podium position between the AlphaTauri driver and the Aston Martin of Cam. Tried to get past. There was a couple of switchbacks attempted, but it's as you were.
Yeah, as they all come through turns 10, 11 and 12, and it is getting very interesting, these final few laps, as they will come on to lap 27 very shortly, as Enzo Cam is up on his personal best by a mere 2/1000ths of a second. That's how close these personal times are, and yeah, he is going to be praying that he can keep within this 1 second, because of the DRS that he is going to get, as you saw there. Them flying laps were coming in thick and fast on them soft compound tyre, as they all make their way through turns 3 and 4. Noisy and Mad Jonas having a little bit of a battle there, and you can see top 6 are just pulling away so quickly.
I mean, this is a godsend. for Simply Superman. He just needs to pull out half a second in this lap, and he's got the 3 seconds, and of course the DRS isn't activated, so he might get away with finishing P5 at worst.
Yeah, of course, but I think what's helping him there is Cray is on the hards. I think if Lynx can get past, then it might be a different story. But at the moment, that's not happening, as that gap is now 2.8. Oh, Matt Jonas disqualified from the session, parked in a dangerous location. So he is going to be right off the back. And yeah, not a great start for McLaren, as they've got one driver outside the top 11 and top 10, should I say, and one has been DSQ'd, as DRS is enabled. And I think Cam is going to have a look. No, turn 1, he doesn't get the move done, and yeah, I think he is going to be eyeing up a move now as they make their way through turn 3. Cam is literally on an absolute move now, and he's feeling that he can get the position, but he's got to time this perfectly, as we saw Simply Superman make the move wrong and got impatient early. Cam just got to hold off. I think his best chance is turn 10, as Mad Jonas does leave the session, and we keep on board with Cam. Cam has dropped back a little bit, but he is going to keep up the pace, as I think, who is that in front of Cam? That is the AlphaTauri, and I think, oh, who's that gone for a spin? That's IRL Dundee in the background there, and Cam had all that momentum but has dropped back, and I think he is charging up that ERS. As I say that, he's only on 5%.
Yeah, that's the difference. The people out front have still got 60% ERS, so, and Simply Superman, he's got 33, so he could sniff out a podium on track. But look at second place in the Red Bull, Nick Houston. He's absolutely going to try and move. I think we head into the final lap of the Grand Prix. The DRS is open, ERS is going on, he's going to go down the edge, switches to the inside, and Nicholas, is he going to get the DRS? Is he going to concede a good position? There's a bit of banging wheels, but nothing too bad. They're still side by side. Who got the DRS? It was Nicholas. Absolutely a beautiful piece of racing from Nicholas there, and he is in the lead on the last lap, and there will be no more DRS.
Well, actually, no, there'll be the one out of turn 10 that he will get. Oh, it's Nicholas, and Nick is going to go for it. Oh no! Oh, Cam goes. Little bit of synchronization, and that was, I think, a knock.
And look at this! Look at this! Simply Superman is going to get a podium because Craig is 3.6 seconds behind him.
Yeah, and very unfortunate for Cam and Nick. They were so close in touching distance, but it is going to be a potential win here for Nicholas. And as he comes around the final 2 corners, he's done absolutely everything possible. And yeah, it is going to be a provisional race win for the Haas, for the German driver. And I'm sure Gunther Steiner will be happy as Nicholas takes P1 here in Bahrain, with NFR Hukabu in P2, Simply Superman in P3, NFR Cray in P4, Nick Houston P5. Look at that photo finish with Raquel, and it is all over. I just hear Mercedes at the end there. DNF interval. Did he finish, or I don't know what happened? But it is NFR Hukabu gets the driver of the day. And if that's the driver of the day picture, that would scare the absolute thing out of me. But it is a race win for Nick. And yeah, what a race it has been for an opening race here in Season 8.
Full of carnage, twists and turns. Had a little bit of a lull first on, where they're getting in their rhythm, but yeah, it's a great ending, wasn't it? The safety car helped massively.
Yeah, of course, and there is a win for the German driver and the Haas, and a good start for the Haas team as they celebrate. And we will take a quick look at the race classification. So, confirmed by the game, it is a provisional race win for Nicholas. NFR Huckaboo in P2. Oh, we nearly went in a race director then. Simply Superman finishes on P3. And as I can see by the Discord chat, he is elated by that last lap move that he managed to make. NFR Cray on the hards finishes in P4. Nick Houston in P5. Raquel Lynx in P6. NFR Ray in P7. I'm a D in P8. Noisy P9. IRL Dundee in P10. And outside the top 10 is URL Chris, NZL Cam, TNR to Jonas, I believe that's how you pronounce it. TNR Steph, DET Lynx, and Mad Jonas with the disqualification here in Formula 2. And yeah, what a race it has been here in Bahrain. And just to whet your appetite even more, well, I won't be back. I'll be racing tomorrow. But next time League Racing TV will be showing TML will be Formula 3 and Formula 4. They'll be on tomorrow at 8 PM BST, and I believe we've got Ivan on Formula 3 commentary, and we've got, I believe, Funky Chicken and TTG Neymar on for Formula 4. But that'll be another race in Bahrain. But myself and I'm going to forget your name already. Stumpy, driver of the day. We have to agree on one person. Who do you think potentially would be your driver of the day? We have to agree on one person.
Yeah. So I'm going for the race winner. He did everything he needed to do. He kept it clean, and the pace was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that last lap really, he brought the elbows out, and he did do a fantastic job. So I think we can both agree Nicholas in the Haas is going to be our driver of the day. So just looking at the calendar for TML Season 8, obviously we've done Bahrain tonight. We will be jetting off this evening virtually to Budapest in Hungary. Then we will be going to probably maybe a wet Montreal in Canada. Then we have the first of the sprint races where we go to Azerbaijan in we go to Baku in Azerbaijan to say for a sprint race. I'm really looking forward to that, and a sprint race in Azerbaijan that'll be. And then round number 5 we'll be off to Belgium in Spa, and then we will be seeing the first of one of the new tracks, which is Miami in USA. I don't know if you're a lover or a hater of Miami at the moment, Stumpy.
Virtually, I've not tried it yet. In real life, I hate it.
All right, well, we'll leave that one till when we come to on the 29th of September. Then we head off to the iconic Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Then we go to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. That's another sprint race, and the second and final sprint race. Then the back end of the calendar, we go off to the most probably the iconic Silverstone, where we saw an epic last few seasons of racing, especially this season. That battle between I think it was Leclerc, Perez, and Hamilton. As we heard the commentators go, there goes up Hamilton. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Then we go to Singapore, always a classic race. Mexico, and then we round off on the 17th and 18th of November when we go to the Yas Marina for Abu Dhabi, and that is also a new track layout. And I haven't tried it that much because the TT was a bit glitched when the game came out. But yeah, I find it the new layout a little bit better. I don't know about yourself, Stumpy.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot more flowing. Yeah, I like it a lot more.
Well, that is it for round number 1. As I mentioned before, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, tick that notification bell if you want to watch all the TML action from F1, F2, F3, and F4. They are on Thursday and Fridays at 8 PM UK time. That is BST. time. So, and obviously EML will be back for round number 2 on Wednesday for Premier 1 and Premier 2. But until next time, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, and also for the Belgium Grand Prix. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes to plan, and no weather does interrupt that. But when we go racing again here in Formula 2 in TML, I've been LRE Storm, and that's been Stumpy. Until next time, it's been a pleasure, and then we will say good night to everyone. So, good night.